What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another edition of Game Changers. I'm your host and founder, Jalen Tart, along with Joe Robinson and Xavier Pugliese. So
What's up, y'all?
we're gonna start off with this episode on the Lakers winning their 17th championship and tying the Boston Celtics for the most NBA championships in the NBA. So you saw Game 6. It was a dominant performance by the Lakers, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. LeBron James finishing with 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. A triple-double, easy. And, he unanimously got the finals MVP. So do you think this was the most challenging finals or the challenging path for the Lakers to get to the finals and win the finals in 6 games? Dro, we can start with you first.
Okay. Well, it could go like either way because when in 2016, of course, when LeBron was with the Cavs, he had to overcome a 3-1 lead against the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say yes, because if we look at what the Lakers been through, I mean, everything with Kobe, with the bubble, this pandemic, I mean, it's been challenging to, everybody, that's been in the bubble and stuff. So honestly, I will say it was kind of challenging. So that's just me. I think it was like the most challenging just because of what they've been through.
Right. What you got, Xavier?
Yeah, I could agree with Joe. It could have gone either way for them. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard either for them. I mean, with the finals, I already knew like the Heat weren't gonna go down with a sweep. Because like I said, it's a rarity to go out in go to the finals and get swept out. And with LeBron James, AD, Rondo, with a talented Lakers team,
Mm-hmm.
They just overcame adversity. And like, even though the pandemic came out and they had to move to the bubble, they still did the same thing and applied the same pressure and made it to the finals. And then, and the Lakers won their 17th title.
Right. And I can agree with both of you guys' points. More and foremost, I believe it wasn't that challenging, but it was kind of challenging because it was a point where the first round they were facing against one of the hottest teams in the bubble, which was Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum in the Portland Trailblazers. And then they beat them in 5. And then on top of that, you play against the Denver Nuggets. I believe we played against the Denver Nuggets and the Jamal Murray and the Nikola Jokic. And we were supposed to play against the Clippers, but they got bounced by the Nuggets. So that was unexpected. Then you go against one of the most decorated teams, not really the most decorated teams, but not the most underrated teams in the bubble, the Miami Heat. No one thought that they was gonna get this far. Everybody thought that as soon as they got to the Bucks was gonna make it a series and they was gonna win the series. But they was able to beat them in what was it? Was it 6 or was it 5? I'm not trying to.
I believe it was 5.
It was 5?
Yeah, I believe it was 5.
I think it was 5.
Okay. So they beat them at 5, and then they played a tough, scrappy Boston team, which they went to war against the Toronto Raptors, took them to 7 games. And I believe that fire from the Boston Celtics, they didn't have enough gas because they went through a grueling series with the Raptors. And, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart was doing all of what they needed to do. They could have forced it to go 7 games, but, hey, Miami did what they had to do and pulled out the win. My personal approach to this, I think after the performance that Jimmy Butler and Duncan Robinson gave in the Game 5, knowing that you're going to have everyone back for Game 6, it was not enough because at the end of the day, there was gas. The Jimmy Butler in the interview, he was struggling to walk off of that podium. I believe there was gas. I think what they need now, they need another superstar. They got to go after somebody. Go after Jeremy Grant. Go after Victor Oladipo. Go after Bradley Beal. Hell, go after Giannis if Giannis is going to leave. My honest opinion.
You put Devin Booker in that. You put Devin Booker in that conversation too.
But that team is built around him though. that Phoenix Sun, Monty Williams' system is built around Devin Booker. If you get rid of Devin Booker, you don't have a team. You're riding all of that momentum. People are now, I personally believe that they will be an 8th seed in next year's season into the playoffs. I personally believe.
I agree.
I believe
the Phoenix Suns?
they will have to battle out Memphis. They will have to battle out with Memphis and New Orleans, depending upon who New Orleans will get as a coach. Right now, they're eyeing Sam Van Gundy. We don't know. Whoever is the coach there, whoever's going to be the coach at the New Orleans Pelicans. So, moving on. So, the NFL, once again, a crazy week with the rescheduling of the games. We had Monday night game with the Chargers losing again by 1 possession to the New Orleans Saints. So they lost to them 20-17. But the main talk of this week for the NFL is Dak Prescott. So Dak Prescott's on a franchise tag for $35 million. He's been proving his worth that he wants a big contract for the Dallas Cowboys. You saw he had a gruesome ankle injury in the game against the Giants.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry for the lateness, but against the Giants.
Yeah.
What do you believe the future for Dak Prescott is for the Cowboys? Do you think you should stay or do you think he should leave? Xavier, you can go first.
I think he should stay, but thinking of that, let's think a little bit about what the rest of the Cowboys season is looking like. I mean, they have the offense. I mean, who else do they have at quarterback? That's my first question on that.
Right.
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton. And he's not – I'm gonna piggyback off of this. He's not a scrub. He's actually a nice player, but he is no scrub. He actually let that comeback against the Giants, which I personally thought the Giants was going to win the game because the way Daniel Jones was playing,
they should have won the game.
They
should have won the game.
They should have capitalized off of the injury from Dak. No disrespect to Dak. I wish him a speedy recovery, but they should have capitalized off of the injury. But Dak and Zeke, they just took it all home and won it for Dallas. But
Andy Dalton, I feel like he's gonna have a better season than he did at Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Reason being because he has arguably one of the best offensive lines in the NFL to protect him. And like you said, he's not a scrappy quarterback. He's actually decent, and he has more targets than just one target than he did at Cincy. I mean, and then I just feel like he's not gonna be at Dak's level, but it's gonna be to a point where the Cowboys, even though I hate them with a passion, they might be playoff contenders.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think now with Dak Prescott out for the season, do you think the Dallas Cowboys will win their division? Knowing that they are first place right now, do you think they win the division without Dak?
More than likely.
Okay.
I'll say
the Eagles are torn up right now, and no disrespect, Joe, but you can throw the Giants out the way, and Washington, you can honestly throw them out.
Yeah,
but it's all gonna go down. But in the NFC East, it's all gonna go down between Dallas and Philly, like always. Mm-hmm. But I got my money on Dallas.
But before I say something, prayers out to Dak Prescott. I mean, like Zay said, I don't like the Cowboys with a passion either, but you don't want to see nobody get hurt like that.
Right.
But
that's right.
I just believe that yesterday's game, what beat us was bad penalties, missed tackles. I mean, and bad calls by the ref. I'm not going to lie. They took away 2 touchdowns. Well designed by Joe Judge. But, I mean, there's still no excuse to, lose that game. And now, and like y'all said earlier, Andy Dalton is not a scrappy quarterback. I mean, in Cincinnati, he actually been, in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. He been in the postseason. So I know he's not a scrappy quarterback. But for right now, I mean, we'll just have to wait how the weeks play out for me to really give a judgment on how I see Dallas go forward in the postseason or whatever. But yeah, I'm like, but for me and for the Giants, uh, I don't know.
I mean, for me,
I don't know what's going to.
as much as I'm a Colts fan, so I love my Colts. But for me personally, I don't like the Dallas Cowboys. But I see them now winning the NFC East, knowing that Dak is out. It's kind of like the similar situation when Kobe died. Well, not really the similar situation, but it's kind of in that scenario to where when Kobe died, the Lakers were it was much more destined for the Lakers to win the championship for Kobe. If they did not win the championship the year that he died, you can't argue that. Like, there wouldn't be no conversation. Oh, the Lakers aren't the best organization, or LeBron is out of the GOAT talk or whatnot. More importantly, with him winning that 4th championship, he has inserted himself back into the conversation of being the GOAT talk, which I still personally believe he is not the GOAT. He's not, and that's another discussion another day.
Yeah,
but
we have to discuss that.
with Andy Dalton leading this team, I have faith. I have faith that the Dallas Cowboys will go up in the upper trend, because the way this Eagles team is designed, they're more destined to win games, but they cannot win games in the big moment of the game, if that makes sense. We saw that against Pittsburgh. It was a back and forth game the entire time, and Pittsburgh's defense prevailed. But I'm gonna just say this. This man, Russell Wilson, is continuing to impress me every week. I mean, the way that he's showing up in the big moments of games is impressive. And I do have him as the forefront of winning the NFL MVP this
year. He's like in the part.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing incredible, and this is the first 5-0 start for the Seahawks, I believe, in team history.
Right.
And it's all coming from the leadership. Russell Wilson, he's a hard worker on and off the field. I mean, that man, yeah.
Russell Wilson is he's MVP caliber this year. I mean, especially like as a quarterback who is under 6 feet tall, like you can't make any of this up. And then he has like weapons all around him. He's dual threat. I mean, like you can't really like hate on him for that. I mean, because he's actually proven to himself. Because honestly, my MVP, if I had to pick 2 people who are going to be MVPs, have an MVP season, it's going to be Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. That's just me. But
I'm going to throw another name out there.
Go ahead.
Because, I mean, and nobody really talking about him or nothing like that, but Josh Allen. Because I do my first 2 runners is Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. But Josh Allen, he's also playing like an MVP caliber. Like he's doing it up.
The only thing I have with Josh Allen is ball security. Is the ball?
Thank you. That's the point out.
That's the only thing I have with Josh Allen. But other than that, he's a solid quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, and he does have Stephon Diggs as a primary target too. So, but
he got Stephon Diggs, Brown, all that.
Yep.
And like Josh Allen, like.
I do got one question though.
Oh, yeah.
Who is the most dominant athlete in our era right now? Tom Brady or LeBron James?
Most dominant.
LeBron.
Yeah, that it gotta be LeBron. I mean, Tom Brady, he's in his 40s now. I mean, he's not the same Tom Brady we seen, let's see, about 5 to 10 years ago. But LeBron, he's like 35 years old, I believe.
Yep.
35.
36, I believe, in December.
Yeah.
December. Yeah.
And still playing like he's about 18 to 19 years old or in his mid-20s. I mean, that's just incredible. I mean,
it's like all the time is not denying him. I mean, I would have to pick LeBron too, because of the accolades that he has done in the playoffs. No disrespect to Tom Brady and his 6 rings. That has never been done in the NFL from a quarterback. It's never been done. But for you to take a team that is an underdog favorite, you're down 3-1 to the best team in NBA history. 73-9 Warriors. You're down 3-1, and you win the championship in 7 games. I don't know who could do that. I don't even know if Jordan can do that.
Hey, I got something to say about both of those. Like, Tom Brady, number one, he's playing in the NFC South.
Mm-hmm.
In the NFC as a whole, like they're a lot more harder than the AFC. So that's
Right.
That's like
Exactly.
the main.
Yeah.
Case. Like Joe said, he's 43.
He's 43.
He's still going. Like really. But LeBron James, okay, then LeBron, I mean, like, regardless of how bad they lost, they got swept by the Warriors in 2018. 2019,
yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. 2018, yeah.
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah. They got swept, but, like, you carried a whole number 4 seeded team, swept the number 1 seeded team in the East, and carried them to the finals without anybody around you. Like, Kevin Love was hurt. Kyrie was hurt. So you basically had to go with Tristan Thompson. You had to go with J.D. Osman. I mean, you had, like,
and all them people.
Basically a one-man band.
I thought Kyrie was with Boston in 2018,
So
right?
LeBron. Oh, yeah, he was with Boston.
He was with Boston.
I lied.
But to your point, Xavier, like, to the point where the Cavs got swept by the Warriors in 2018. But who was helping LeBron? I mean, it was basically the Golden State. I mean, I love Golden State. That's my team. But it was like basically the Golden State Warriors versus LeBron. Like, who was there to help him? George Hill? I mean, he's not like a superstar caliber player. I mean,
he was averaging a triple-double. He was averaging a whole triple-double in that series.
Because he didn't have
any help. He had like
he had no help.
That's basically this. It's basically that scenario. It will be like Jimmy Butler not having Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Bam, and all you have is Goran Dragic. That's the only person you have. It's kind of that type of scenario, but It's gonna be a crazy offseason because I'm looking forward to these trades. I'm looking forward to the coaching changes and whatnot. But we're gonna end off the show like this. Do you believe that the Brooklyn Nets will win a championship with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Steve Nash? Yes or no?
They'll go deep in the playoffs, but I don't think this is gonna be a championship.
Ooh.
I think the East will be harder than next year, in my opinion.
Yeah, the East is going to be hard. The East is going to be hard because you got the Heat, the Bucks. Well, I don't know if Giannis still going to be on the Bucks.
So you got me personally, you have the Heat, you have the Bucks, you have Boston.
Yeah.
This is it's tough. It's tough because you have Philadelphia. That's
Toronto.
4. And Toronto.
Yep.
But Toronto need another star. They need another star, though. Me personally.
Yeah. But I believe with KD, if KD comes back, when Kyrie comes back, when they come back, I mean, they really never played together. So, I mean, it's going to be a lot of adjusting. Mm-hmm. But it's 82 games out of an NBA season, or we hope because of COVID still happening. But we'll have to see them play together, like with KD and Steph, and y'all know how they dominated. Mm-hmm. So can KD and Kyrie, kind of do the same thing? And if they do, I do see them definitely in the postseason or in the playoffs.
Right.
But if the Bucks like keep Giannis and really, build some players around him, I don't think it will be like they'll go to the finals, and that's just me. That's just me.
They
Hey,
need another.
but
They
with,
need another
hey,
superstar.
but with,
Go ahead.
with Brooklyn, here's another thing, and I feel like this happens to athletes on a psychological standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Like coming from like KD's played with the West. He played with OKC and Golden State. How he did amazing with the West, but how you think? But his game might change in the East. Plus that injury, because like I mean KD, I feel like KD is still gonna be unstoppable, but I just think he's not gonna be as great.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of a similar situation with LeBron. You know, LeBron was in the East, went to Miami, went back to Cleveland. Now he's in the West, went through a whole gauntlet of teams in the West, won a championship in the West in this second season.
But
So,
let me ask y'all something.
go ahead.
Do y'all really think that the Lakers can be a full, healthy, loaded Warriors team? Because you gotta think.
Name the players. Go ahead.
When Steph Curry, Klay
Okay.
Thompson, they got Andrew Wiggins, Draymond, and then they're gonna draft possibly a center in James Wiseman. I don't know. I don't know yet.
Are we okay?
But do y'all really think that the Lakers can defeat a full, healthy Warriors team in the playoffs?
Okay. Here's my thing. It's two scenarios. The yes scenario, if they can defend them off of the perimeter.
Yeah.
That's a yes. No, if the players aren't healthy for the Lakers down the stretch leading into the playoffs, it's a no.
And you gotta stop. And you gotta stop like Clay
because
Steph from getting hot.
Because honestly, that's the same team that they faced with Miami. There was all shooters in that one aggressive score in Jimmy Butler. With this case, you got all shooters and a skilled center. They haven't been up against anything like that. So it will be interesting to see in my eyes.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Like next season is gonna be crazy. I mean, the West is. I don't even know like who really gonna.
It's a lot of teams in the West.
It's just too loaded. Like the West is too loaded.
You have the Lakers, you have the Clippers, you have the Golden State Warriors, you have
Fully healthy
the Phoenix
Golden
Suns,
State Warriors.
The Portland Trailblazers, the Houston Rockets.
Oh
yeah.
I'll say
that's seven. That's seven that I just named, right?
What about the Spurs? Well, do y'all think the Spurs didn't make the
They're not gonna be
this year?
no.
They're
not making it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's too old. I don't know. If Popovich is able to get a trade off or something and get another young star player there, I mean, they can get like a Bradley Beal to play with DeMar DeRozan. Okay, you got something. I mean,
but
and Dallas, you forgot about Dallas.
That DeMar trade didn't really work for the Spurs. I'm just going to be honest. It really didn't. I mean, but if we look at it,
he downgraded.
You trade like a franchise player in Kawhi Leonard. I mean, although he was hurt, I understand that.
Okay, so hold on. So we got breaking news. So the Jets just released running back Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, goodness.
What's your reaction?
Wow. Like just
not surprised.
You don't think so?
Not surprised.
I mean, but Le'Veon Bell haven't been himself.
Now, I got a scenario. If he goes to the Browns, it's over.
Mm-hmm. I don't think
he's going to the Browns. It's over.
Bro, then the Browns. They
already got
running backs.
They
threw running backs deep if he gets
Kareem Hunt, Nick
Chubb, and Le'Veon Bell.
But that's just too much money to pay all those good running backs.
I can see him going to Arizona. I can see him going to Arizona.
Well, yeah. Arizona get a good running back.
Okay, but because you got Kyler Murray, you have DeAndre Hopkins, and you got Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. The only thing you got to fix now is you got to get another receiver on the other side of DeAndre Hopkins and fix up and improve the defense, and you got a team. The coaches,
Arizona just need to throw the ball a little. Larry Fitz need to get the ball more. I'm sorry.
Larry Fitz, his time is slowly coming to the end.
Yeah. I thought Larry Fitz should have retired like either 2 years ago.
He's just there. He's just there for the moral support to help the younger receivers get better. That's the only reason why he's there.
But I love Larry though.
I love why. Yes, I do. So we gonna end it off here, and we're gonna pick it back up on the next episode. But I thank y'all for joining me, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.
Peace, y'all.